Greetings. It's really a joy and a pleasure to be reaching out to the people of the world concerning how to become the best version of themselves. Okay. So for the next 20 to 30 minutes, I want to speak to you concerning how to become the best version of yourself. How to live your best life here. Okay. There's always good, and where there is good, there is better. And where there's better, there is best. Okay, so there are levels to what I'm speaking about. For example, everyone in this world would like to become successful, live a successful life. In other words, they live a life of success. Everyone would like to achieve their goals and their dreams in life. And so to live the ideal life that you would like to live on this planet, you have to be able to judge yourself to know whether you are living your ideal life or you're not living the ideal life. You have to be the judge of that. So you have to check your sense of contentment. Your sense of contentment. How content do you feel? Do you feel 30% or 40% contentment? And would you like to move from the 30 to 40% contentment to a higher level? Would you like to move from 40 to 80 to 90 until you feel actually 100%, 100% contented? Well, in order for that to happen, you have to know, first of all, where you are to know where you are going. So when you know exactly where you are and you judge where you are and you're not fully contented, then you have to set out to become more accomplished and more satisfied with what your life is producing. So just like a mango tree produces its fruit, a coconut tree produces its fruit, breadfruit produces its fruit, and the fruit that it produces is an expression of the life that it has. And so every one of us on this planet, we have a life. But what is the quality of life we are living? What is the expression that we are giving out from our life? Well, the good news is that you can have a shift, experience a shift in life in terms of you can move from a place of lack and scarcity to a place of abundance and prosperity. You can move from a poor, broke life to a rich and prosperous life. And I would like to teach you how you can do that. Because, for example, if you would believe that most of your body is water and most of the earth is water, and you can believe me when I tell you that water can be transmuted from a liquid form to a solid form. And when it is liquid, you cannot hold it in your hand. But when it becomes solid, you can hold it in your hand. But our water only change from one form to another form, but it is still the same water. So all the components that make up the water to make it water. All of the component is in the ice because it went to a different temperature. So the different temperature that it went to form and mold and become solid. All of it comes under energy, vibration, and frequency. And remember, a lady foundation showing you that most of your body is water. It is saying to you that you can use water to shift your life because most of your body is actually water. So learn from water how you can change your condition. So let me simplify it for you. I am saying in short that your wish, your dreams, your goals, the things you like to attain, achieve in life, they are like the liquid water that you can hold at this moment. But if you would act upon that which you do not see, you do not taste, you do not touch, there's no physical contact. If you would trust the psychology of that world, by knowing that when you close your eyes and you shut out this physical three-dimensional world, you're going into the fourth dimension, into fourth-dimensional thinking. And you're activating the water of life. That's why you can't live without water. You're activating that water with a certain power. And once the water has been activated, anyone who walk down in the pool, they will be healed. Well, I'm saying to you, you can be financially healed. Which means if you have financial lack, it's a form of suffering. It means that you're sick and you need to be whole. Well, a parable been shared concerning one who was crippled from birth. Do you realize that you've been crippled from birth? When you have this human experience as a child, you do not really know that you can create because you lost that memory. You do not know that you can call those things that be not as though they are because you lost that memory. You went into a lapse, into a sleep, into a dream. And you've been going through mortification in terms of you already start to rot. Yeah. And you're in the tomb. And everyone give up on you. But here comes the Savior. Well, who is the Savior? The Savior is not a man outside of yourself. If you think that you're hearing me from outside, then you're missing the point. If you think that you're hearing me from outside, then you miss the point. That man must resurrect something on the inside of you. So you would know that everything he's speaking about is about you. You must call forth your Lazarus that been dead. And everyone give up. And say he's dead. Do you realize that a seed, when it's been sown in the earth, it goes through the same process? Just like when you have your goals and you have your dreams, you have to go through the same process. And in every part of the world that we live, It is the plants and the animals that are feeding us and giving us our food. Well, there's a part of you that is feeding you and giving you our inspirational food. Therefore, there's a part of you that you must operate. And the reason why you must operate that part of you, because that part of you is what generates thoughts. And thoughts become things. So it means that this knowledge that I'm bringing to you is to open your eyes for you to see yourself in a different way, for you to experience a shift. Now, for example, let me be a little practical with you right now. Right now, where you're sitting, I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. And when you take that deep breath in through your nose, I want you to extend your stomach outwards. Okay? Then you're going to exhale. And when you exhale, you're going to exhale through your mouth like this. Whichever way. So it's like... But when you breathe in, you push out your stomach because you're breathing from your diaphragm, the lower part of your stomach. And I want you to breathe like that for at least 6 times. And then hold that breath in for about, say, 10 seconds. And repeat it for as many times as it would take to put you in a place of calmness, to put you in a more relaxed and hypnotic state. And then when you get yourself in that kind of state, start to focus on becoming the best version of yourself, which means there is a starting point. And the starting point is your blueprint. So when you go into this meditation and visualization, you have to already have a blueprint in your mind of the things you'll be doing, how you be acting and behaving in the best version of yourself. What kind of vehicle you'll be driving, what neighborhood you'll be living in, what business you'll be involved in. All of these different things you have to already record these things. Because when you record it, that's how you capture the thought. Like for example, we all use electricity. They have to capture the electricity. They speak about Thomas Edison and Benjamin Franklin. And they speak about the lightning. And the electricity from the lightning, they have to chop it. So you have to chop the thought by writing it down. Okay? And you visualize and live right in the now. So if you only have $100 on your bank account and you imagine yourself being a millionaire, you're a millionaire now. You don't go looking to become a millionaire anymore when you're already a millionaire. You don't see the bank account anymore because you're not living from the objective side of existence. You're living from the subjective. You're living from the place of the subconscious mind. You're not living from the conscious reasoning mind. Let me show you that. The book of Mind Science, which is the Bible, it tells you that if you find the outer life, which is the objective life, if you find it is telling you that you have lack and you have scarcity and all of that, it's telling you that you're poor. He said you must never believe that. He say, let the poor say, I am rich. It is saying that you have to think subjectively and not objectively. It is saying that you have to live from the inside out. You have to understand that a lie is the opposite of the truth. And the truth is also on the opposite of the lie. Because the lie is a perversion of the truth. But there must be a truth before there could be a lie. So you're living from the life of truth, which is the invisible. Your invisible self. You're tapping into your invisible self. Your non-physical self. And you're transmuting that energy, that thought that's going on, that burning desire. You're going to transmute it into this physical three-dimensional world, just like the refrigerator will transmute the water and the temperature. The temperature, okay, whether is it Fahrenheit or whatever, or Celsius or whichever one, okay, that represent your feeling and your emotion. Your feeling and your emotion is what will give your subconscious mind a certain vibration, a certain imprint. It's like you put in something through a printer and you're gonna give you a copy of the same thing. Okay, you're on it, you're using a photocopy machine or a printer or whatever. All these things are replica of your mind. So with the ideal life you want to live, idealized version of yourself, you have to know how rich you want to be. Some people want to be rich, but they don't know if they want to be $10 million rich, if they want to be 20 million, if they want to be 100 million rich. As a melanated person, I'm saying to you, in 2026, the minimum you should be wishing for is 100 million. Because you're coming from a place of a lot of obstacles and stumbling blocks that were placed before you. So you have to get rid of a lot of junk or baggage. The junk and the baggage represent the traumas. So the causes and spells you have to break if you want to live the best version of your life on this planet, especially as a melanated person. And so some of those causes, some of those obstacles and stumbling blocks, time will not permit me to go through all of those with you. That is why I normally schedule one-on-one calls with people who want to work with me. We can definitely work together to achieve a shift. And I'm so confident saying these things to you because I've seen how I would have shifted my life. I remember when I had a bank account that was only keeping me around 10,000. Some people don't even have 1,000. Some people don't even have 5,000. But I realized that there was a point in my life was just 10,000. And then you go back lower. Then you reach up again to 10,000 and you go back lower. And I realized there's a pattern. I realized there's a paradigm. Okay? And I didn't blame the economy. Okay? I realized I have to change myself. I have to shift my mentality. And that's what I realized, and I said to myself, that is a pattern. And that pattern is how people just get programmed. And how through genetics, that thing is passed down from one generation to another generation. So I say that is what it referred to as like a generational curse. A family curse. That's like a demon. That's like a disease. Because I'm not at ease with my account telling me 10,000. I feel within myself that I value far much more than that. And I should have more. And I remember saying to my wife that this is a pattern. And I could see the pattern. It is like a paradigm. And it's a curse, and we have to break it. And from the moment we start seeing ourselves It's a different account. And see that spell being broken off of our lives by shifting. That is like when it is said that he took a ship and he went over to the other side and he healed many miracles he did when he took a ship and he went over to the other side. That's when you take a shift in your thinking. Not no historical story and no man 2,000 years ago. It's when you know how to shift from the outer to the inner. It's when you know where to throw the net. Because you've been throwing the net on the wrong side. And I come now and I'm teaching you how to throw the net on the right side. By teaching you how to think the metaphysical way. How to think the esoteric way. That's why you have to clear your mind from all of the negative thinking. All of the thinking concerning lack and scarcity. If you grow up in a neighborhood where they're always saying that water is more than flour and there's not enough to go around, you have to break that mindset completely. That's how you're going to get a shift. If you believe that you have some outside Lord and Savior and some outside Master that going to come and save you, you have to totally shift away from that kind of thinking to shift in another state, to shift into another dimension. Because it is not the things that you desire you're going to attract. I am telling you to go towards the things that you desire. But I am further teaching you that it's not just because you desire it, you're going to attract it. You have to become it. Which means it will take discipline. It will take conditioning. For example, in 5 seconds, you can learn something from me, but it will take you 5 years to master it. Like for example, right now, if you never really learn about the law of mentalism, that is in 5 seconds, I'm telling you that everything is mental, everything is psychological, everything has to first be a thought, it has to first be an idea and so on. But it will take you about 5 years to master your mind. Well, don't talk about if you're born with a lot of traumas, passed down from generation to generation. Don't talk about where you grew up. If you grew up with a religious and a superstitious mindset, trust me, I'm telling you, it will be a battle for you to enter into that shift. Because you would have to be willing to unlearn everything and relearn and then reprogram your subconscious mind. That's something I like to do with you. So my brother and my sisters, I don't want to go too long. It's about 23 minutes of me doing this lecture, okay, with you, this discourse with you concerning how you can shift from one state to another state. You can shift your reality. You could bend reality to your will. But I am saying that you have to change your thinking. And as a melanated person, you might think that you don't believe in certain things, but it is in your DNA from your parents, and you have to realize it and break it. And you can only do that by looking at your condition right now. I remember I heard a man say something years ago, and it's always in the back of my head, and it's true. And he was saying if a person not making at least $120,000 a year, they're still below the poverty line. I'm saying to you, if you listen to me and you're not making that a year, I'm telling you, I'm giving you the formula right now. You're listening to me, and I'm actually giving you the formula. But if you're not catching or getting the formula right now, and you want to go deeper down the rabbit hole, invest in yourself, invest in a one-on-one, with me. Let's have a conversation for about 30 minutes. Let's have a conversation for an hour. We could have a conversation for a week. I guarantee I could equip you in a week. But it will cost you a little bit more because of my time. My time is very important. Because I experienced the shift. And when I shift my focus, when I shift my psyche, I see the things that accompany me shifting my psyche. So my brother, my sisters, it's all about rearranging your mind I'm speaking about. I would like to help you to rearrange your mind. I would like to help you to renew your mind. If you have a vehicle, okay, and you want your vehicle to be fixed, you're not going to carry it to the hangar. No, those people who fly plane, they will carry the plane to the hangar. But you with a vehicle, you're going to carry it to the mechanic shop. You're going to look for a mechanic. If you're sick, you go to the hospital, you're seeking for the doctor, you're going to the pharmacy, wherever you're going. What are you looking for? You're looking for a remedy, you're looking for healing. Well, I'm telling you, you can experience financial healing. Because the man who was crippled, he was begging. But when you find love within yourself, and you find faith from the knowledge of self, then you're going to turn around and you're going to say to the part of you that wants to beg, the part of you that believes in lack and scarcity, the part of you that is crippled, you're going to say, silver and gold have I none, but such have I. And you know that you have to always have that Christ power, that Christ energy, that Christ consciousness, the consciousness to create. I'm speaking from experience, so I'm sharing it with you. Okay? But remember, you have to always live by the goal and rule of life. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. If you want to prosper in life, you have to see others prosper also. That's why you can't be fearful about investing in your life. You can't be the person who like to embrace and hold on to the material things. For example, you can't be the kind of person who want to hold on to money and believe that you could save money to become rich. No, money is a living, flowing currency. It's an energy. And it circulates throughout your entire body. Every cell of your body speak the language of money. And you're still living in lack and scarcity. Can't even invest in your own self. Getting such a knowledge, okay, and not using it. Because you put more value on the creation than the creator. Do you know that you're the creator, and that's what I'm really speaking about? But for the 30 minutes I speak to you for, it will inspire you, it will motivate you. But the more knowledge you get concerning your own self, it will give you more faith. Faith is not something blind. For many years, I searched to know what is faith. I listened to all kind of people. There used to be a man, and they could check him out if you think I'm lying. I think he named Kenneth Hagin. He's a white man. Some Rhema church or some shit he used to run. Okay, he, Careful Dollar, all of these different people, Kenneth Copeland, all of them, they always stress on faith. But if you have a religious mindset, you think the meaning, oh, just believe. But it says beyond belief. They're telling you to have faith, but they're telling you to have faith in God. But they're not explaining to you the in God. They're pointing you to an out God. That's why a very rich man in my country put up a writing above where he have a hall of fame and he have all the people there. And above there he has in God with us. When I unfold it, they took it down. It's no longer there. They took it down. Because I did a video on it. Not on this channel, on another channel, a home channel. Okay? And they took it down. Because I understand what it means to believe in God. The people normally ask a question, they don't understand it. Because they're looking for exoteric answer, an outside answer. Because they're looking for something on the outside. So inshallah, my brother and my sister, you want to live the best version of yourself. You have to look within. There's no one to change but self. There's no one to blame but self. And I want you to prove it for yourself. So, before I come to a close here, I want to say there's no amount of money that you could pay me for this knowledge that I'm passing on to you. Okay, that's not enough. That's not that You can never pay enough money for this. There's something that would affect your life till the day you leave this planet. And it would either affect your life in a positive way or negative way. In a conscious way or unconscious way. Because as long as you're on this planet, you're going to continue to create. And you're going to either create consciously or unconsciously. And I'm just trying to teach you how to create consciously. That's what I'm saying. Walk with me. Okay? So, what I'm saying, if it resonates with you and you haven't subscribed, I'm definitely encouraged to subscribe, to like, to comment. I'm encouraged to share this video. If you'd like to get my books, they are available on Amazon. Like How to Turn Water into Wine. Okay, in that book, when you really understand how to turn water into wine, you understand how to turn your dreams and your goal into a tangible reality, how to live your ideal life. When you read Spiritual Recipe for Better Living, you're going to teach you how to live the ideal life. When you read Your Mood is Your Fortune, you're going to teach you how to live the ideal life. And my first book that I ever put together is called Meditate to Eradicate Poverty. When you read Meditate to Eradicate Poverty and you indulge yourself practically in the things that I ask you to do in that book, and you remain consistent, there's no way you're not going to get results. It is impossible for you not to get result. I could challenge any man, any part of the world, whoever purchased any of my books. I could challenge you that the only how you cannot become successful and have the things that you like to have in this world is if you never do the exercises that I ask you to do and remain consistent. I'm not talking about you do something for 3 days and then you stop doing it because you lack self-discipline. There's no self-mastery. Everything I'm trying to teach you here, it takes discipline. It takes consistency. I remember when for years I had to trust and believe in myself and what I was doing. Seeing not a cent, zero. I had to work for years without any pay or any payment. Because I understand the principle of sowing and reaping. So I was sowing. It took me about 2 years or 2.5 years around there before my channel could have been like a monetized channel. And it never earned like what other people earn. But because I'm providing a service, I'm providing value. Value must come back to me. It's a principle. So if the knowledge is valuable to you, then you will know that it's more valuable than money. Because it's a knowledge that will teach you how to attract money and how to have it into your reality. And instead of you being a servant of money becomes your servant. You're not the servant of energy. You've been given the power to transmute energy. So why are you going to become the servant of energy? You see, for example, right? Let me say this. As long as there is human existence on this planet, there will always be the need for oil and gas. There will always be the need for light. There will always be the need for electricity. All these things I'm saying here is to say there will always be a need for you to find yourself. Everything I just mentioned is a part of you, and you're a part of it. Okay? And you have in your oil that you must activate. Okay? You have in you a electricity plant. You have in you a magnetic field. Okay? So everything on the outside is a reflection of that which is within. So my brother, my sisters, whatever life you're going to reflect on the outside, you have to first be reflected within. Okay? Become a millionaire, a multi-millionaire in your mind before you can actually be that in this physical 3-dimensional world where time is actually an illusion and you're living in the eternal now. So my brother, my sister, just gonna run through these comments here and then close. Someone reach out, they say, Captain, could Joe Moses, manifesting, I have manifesting effortlessly. And manifesting should always be done effortlessly. And it is the people who do not stress themselves too much, and people who do not force things and so on. Those are the people who would always manifest, and they would always use the word effortlessly. Okay, because that's how it's supposed to be done. Okay, you see, if a sheep is sleeping, it's still gonna produce wool. If a sheep is shitting, it's still producing wool. Doesn't matter what it does, it's gonna produce wool. It's in its nature. If abundance is already in your nature, if you already have the power, it's supposed to be effortless. Which means you're not supposed to force. Okay, you just have to do the rituals and see it as how you order and then you wait. You have to see it also as the law, as sowing and reaping. With the farmer goes and he sow, and he doesn't go back every 2 days to dig it up to see if it is growing. Okay. Someone said hi here, and then someone said greetings, everyone. Okay, that's that Tai Tai, nice having you. Okay, someone say I am an alchemist. Yeah, and you see, uh to say that you're alchemist, okay, is to say that you can have and be and do anything that you want to have and be and do in this world. And you have to be able to transmute the alchemical substance of your desire and bring it into this reality here, right here. We can see, taste, touch, and smell. Therefore, start to write the list of things that you desire to transmute or to alchemize. Okay, and prove that you're an alchemist. Okay, so it's always good to prove that you're an alchemist, which means that you prove that you're God. God is an alchemist. You can't say you're the child of God, you God in flesh or whatever, and you're not an alchemist. When you're not living as an alchemist in this world, you're living an antichrist life. You're going against your God self. You're denying your God self and you're denying your God power. Okay? But you have to live like an alchemist, like a God, a conscious and a deliberate creator. Someone says, I turn water into wine. Yeah, you have to be the one to turn water into wine. You have to be like the refrigerator that's going to transmute the water into ice. That's why you have to know what you want. I don't know what you want. It's you who have to know what you want. Okay, and so my brother, my sisters, for those of you who are listening to me, and what I'm saying is resonating with you, I'm saying if you want to go deeper down the rabbit hole, you can drop me an email, and we can definitely work together. Or you, as I said earlier, you can go and get the books. They're available on Amazon. Okay, but before I end here, I want to let you know that the knowledge that you will get on social media concerning manifesting, you can get that knowledge in 5 minutes, 2 minutes, even in 5 seconds. But it's gonna take you at least 5 years to master these things. That's why you have to be patient. And that is why you have to be consistent, and you have to believe. Okay. And when you really prove for yourself that imagination creates reality and that you are definitely an alchemist, when you do prove it, you will say to yourself, when I saw, okay, this person on the internet and they were saying to invest in yourself and you will never regret and so on, I said I didn't make the investment even before because I proved for myself. And you do not have to prove all of the way. You just want to prove just one event you want to have. Just one little event you want. Okay, and then when you get that first little result, you see everything starts small, start very small, and once you see That walk one time, you don't think, well, maybe it just happened like that. Or maybe it was going to happen anyway. You don't think that way. Okay? And then you start to use it to benefit you. And then you start to see how your life keep changing and changing. Okay? The shift is always taking place once you practice. From the moment you put the seed in the soil, the shift already start taking place, but you're not seeing it until you see the tree. And then when the tree bring forth and so on and all of that. Same thing with you. So my brother, my sister, I want to encourage you to check me out on my other live. I'm going on my other live. I'm a Black Mad Guru channel. Check me out over there. Okay. And let us continue to be on this frequency to attract more into our lives so we can live the best version of our life on this planet and prove that we have come here to learn in the school of life how to live life as a conscious and a deliberate creator, because that's exactly who you are. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I just want to say peace, love you all, see you on my next live.